Hey, kids, you're listening to a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast.
You've got an enemy. You've got an enemy. You better have 9 lives because we have 8 lives. Yes, you've got an enemy. You've got an enemy. Hit your guts.
That's right, we're the Simpsons podcast that discusses the beloved animated sitcom from seasons 11 and beyond, and the newest ones when they air. Why do we do it this way? Well, plenty of other podcasts have already reviewed the Golden Age episodes, seasons 1 through 10, and technically we've already reviewed all of season 11. So we're really 12 and beyond and new episodes. And I say we because I'm just one annoyed grub boy named Craig. With me, as always, is
Steve.
Hey, Steve. I got a whopper of a personal tale to tell you right now.
Oh, boy. Can't wait.
All right. So I'm just going to set the scene. I wake up from sleeping. I put my legs out from the bed, and I begin to stand up. And I start walking, and then I open the door, and then I shut the door. And then I go to the bathroom.
Oh.
While opening the door and then shutting the door. And I walk a few steps to the toilet, and I begin to take my pants off. And that's where I urinate. And I look down, and I'm like, oh, my toes. Those nails need clipping. So after I finish up from my urination, I go into a drawer, and I open the drawer, and I find the toenail clippers. I pull them out, and then I shut the door. And I continue to walk over to... what's going on?
I am very sorry, Craig. I have to break this fascinating story, and I hate to do it because it is so fascinating, but I have some breaking Simpsons news.
Fine. I guess you could talk about the Simpsons when I was going to tell you about how I clipped my toenails and everything was fine.
Oh, well, I mean, you spoiled the ending, but I was enraptured. But I do have some truly sad news. So,
oh, no.
I mean, it's not about your toenails, so you're okay. But according to InsideTheMagic.net, which weirdly posts its website, InsideTheMagic.com, Universal moves to permanently shut down Simpsons Ride and Land in Orlando, Florida. That's right. After nearly 2 decades of delighting fans with Simpsons Fair and the whole city of Springfield in the amusement park, they're shutting it down.
So this is just the Orlando, but not the California one?
For now, although it does seem that Universal is at risk of losing the rights to The Simpsons, so they could no longer have the ride.
I mean, we've kind of knew this was going to happen after Disney purchased Fox. So I would hope that Disneyland and World would make a new Simpsons attraction area. But I wonder what they're going to replace at Universal. I think it should be, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be like the Office ride.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Like...
Dunder Mifflin Town.
Yeah.
You have pretzel stand and...
Oh, man. Wait a minute. This sounds like a great idea. All right. You get to like do talking heads, like instead of like a photo, you get to like sit in front of a camera for like 30 seconds and they give you a script. And like Stanley's behind you in his desk chair because he's always behind that part.
Yeah, you can go to Kevin's Chili.
Oh my God, you're right.
Get a cold ice cream from Bob Vance's Refrigeration.
Steve, is Universal listening to this right now? Because I think you just gave them a $40 billion idea. Do you know how many adults would be going to Office Land?
You could have a little Schrute Farms area.
What would be the ride then? Because so originally the Simpsons ride, and I don't know about Orlando.
It was
also
a
lot bigger than the one in California, right?
Right.
Is it still the same like roller coaster, like the video screen?
Yeah, they're both like basically just pasted over the Back to the Future ride.
Right. So originally that area, I know in California, it used to be E.T., and then it went to Back to the Future, then it went to The Simpsons. So now we're proposing it's The Office because Universal owns The Office. I think the ride would be like Michael Scott's Wild Ride, right?
Michael Scarn's Wild Ride.
Oh, it will be the, yeah.
Death Threat Midnight or whatever.
And they will get all the actors back to film this ride that John Krasinski, they will promise him that he gets to direct it because he's a director now. All right, we got the ride figured out. We'll figure out the thing. But I love the chilies, the pretzels.
You can have
the
you can have a hayride through fruit farms.
Right.
Pam's art museum.
Ooh, I like this. Complimentary beet food around the park.
Kelly's gift shop full of stuff.
Oh, wow. You could have like Ryan's all the things that he used to do. Steve,
you
we're
could
sounding
have,
like
oh my
an
God,
Office podcast right now.
A Meredith bar with Michael Scott's drink of, well, first of all, he'll have an orange juice and a vodka. I don't know what we'll call it. Yeah. And then we'll have the one with the Splenda packet and all the booze.
And then the bartenders would be like dressed as Meredith, and they'll either have like a tit hanging out or their vagina will be exposed.
Or there'll be a bat on their head.
We were going to make it a joke, but now I'm kind of like wanting
I know.
Office Land.
I kind of go to this, yeah.
All right, but Steve, we're sounding a lot like an Office Laddies podcast, and we're not. We're a Simpsons podcast. Go back to the Simpsons. So we kind of knew that this whole thing is going to eventually happen, but now it's confirmation because they were like contracted until 2028.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Disneyland and World will probably put something Simpsons, because I believe I read that Disney is going to tear down one of its parking lots to build more attractions, and that could be maybe where the Simpsons goes. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe connect it with like Toontown, or what can you get rid of in Disneyland? Again, I know Disneyland over World. I don't know World at all because I've never been there.
No, but as much as I love it, I feel like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride could probably...
You know what's really funny? A lot of those rides, like the old school, like Peter Pan and like Winnie the Pooh, those rides are always so fucking long to get on. They're just fan favorites.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have to build a whole new land like they did with Star Wars.
Probably,
if you want Simpsons. Like you don't just make it like one ride. It's got to be, they got to like see what worked at Universal, and they got to make it like even like bigger and crazier. Like how Star Wars fans loved, they don't love it. A lot of Star Wars fans hate the Star Wars land because but like how you have that, I think you're going to have to make an actual Moe's. You're going to have to make the actual Simpsons house. You're going to have to make like everything. Like they're going to have to make Little Springfield is what they're going to have to do.
And Harry Shearer, you're going to have to be in it this time.
Yeah.
We need Mr. Burns in it.
I will be excited to see. Yeah, well, Disney has the money; they'll back up.
Yeah, that's true.
But they got to do it now because they're all getting a little bit older. So, well, let's be honest. AI is going to replace all the actors when time comes. All right, Steve. Well, should we continue talking about my toes or talking about what it was like in the year 2011?
I mean, your story is fascinating, but we do have a Patreon and we do have content to fill. So let's just get on with the episode.
All right. So we're talking about the time of February 20th, 2011. Steve, it just seemed like 3 years ago. It was 2011.
It really did. And not
Steve, were you
15 years ago?
Were you with your wife in 2011? I always forget the time period of you and your wife.
Not in February because she had just turned 21, but we'd meet later on in that year in like December.
The sexiest of months for big jolly men with white beards and red clothing.
Exactly.
Steve, let's put our mind in February of 2011. What was the number one movie in the box office?
Unknown.
Well, Steve, here's a little thing called the internet where you can look it up and you can tell us what it is.
Unknown.
Steve, are you a robot right now and only respond in one word?
Unknown. No, Craig, the movie of the box office was entitled Unknown.
I'm not familiar with this film.
You're saying that it's unknown?
Yeah, exactly.
It stars Liam Neeson.
Oh.
And it is about when a man awakens from a coma only to discover that someone has taken his identity. He teams up with a young woman to prove who he is. I've never heard of this film.
This was still the time when you put all your boring movies in like January and February because no one goes to the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
So that must have been it. It's got a 56 tomato meter and a 55 popcorn meter. So do that with you will and what you want. Leonard Maltin gave it a 2.1 out of 2. That doesn't make sense. Look, you got Diane Kruger and January Jones.
Oh.
Aidan Quinn. Frank Langella.
Oh.
The original Skeletor. Sorry.
That's right.
To all your Jared Leto lovers out there.
My
He's
Skeletor.
Yeah. Liam Neeson has done like a lot of crap. Like, you know how we make fun of like Nicolas Cage doing a lot of like shitty movies? Liam Neeson also does a lot of shitty movies. This also could have been the time when like maybe his wife just died, so he just like needs to like work and take his mind off of his wife's death.
So help me like remember his career. So before the Taken films kind of made him like a bigger star, I remember him from like Love Actually. But what was his like big claim to fame?
His wife died in 2009, so he probably would have filmed this in 2010. I'm just trying to think of that. Well, I mean, Schindler's List.
That's the one. Biggest. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, of course, we reviewed on our Patreon. So listen to that by going to patreon.com/KnowYourGrandBoys. Sign up for $5 a month. And here's talk about Star Wars. Wasn't he Darkman?
Oh, yeah. Die, Darkman, Die. Yeah. It was a fun NES game. I remember renting from my local video store.
Besides, of course, known for his huge hog. But I think, known like Schindler's List was really the biggest one because he was Oscar the Grouch Schindler.
And, speaking of Oscars, it won a lot of awards, which is fitting for today's episode.
Oh, because we talk about award shows. Yeah, he was in a bunch of shit, Steve. Nell, Rob Roy.
Oh, Nell. I love Nell. Tying the way in Chickabay.
Yeah. Oh, how could I forget? He was the bad guy in The Deadpool. Not Deadpool. The Deadpool, the last Clint Eastwood Dirty Harry movie.
Ah, yes.
He's a man of many talents and the many colors of his acting career, whatever that means.
Yes.
Whether it be green or pink or orange or purple.
I remember,
colors, Steve?
Well, actually, I was thinking about this one time that I remember that he got really drunk and he urinated himself. I guess he whizzed himself, and his pants were dark, but the urine left a stain.
Oh, right, because he famously said that he would beat up a black guy.
That happened too.
Yeah. But I don't think he used the term black guy.
No. Anyway.
What was the number one song of the Billboard for that week?
Black and Yellow, the Lenny and Carl story, by Wiz Khalifa.
Well, I like those yellow colors. If only they were... I'm saying like yellow is kind of like gold. It's like the thing that turns a car on or opens a door.
Sure, yeah.
But what if they were like not yellow and like that other song? And what if they were just like the perfect fit?
This whole bit... Yeah, this whole bit is a little sloppy. I think we need to hone it. I think we need to I don't know, tighten up.
What was the hot rock song?
Why, it was Tighten Up by the Black Keys. And,
fun side tangent.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the Black Keys for the first time. They were open for back in I don't know what year. And I remember these guys they're okay. But then they got pretty big, so that's all.
Yeah,
wasn't a fan.
That's kind of how I feel about them. I mean, I do like their minimal instrumentation, though, because they have drums, guitar, and they sing. And that's it. They have their instruments and, the words that come out of their mouth.
What was the hot country song?
It was Voices by Chris Young.
Chris Young, Voices. Sounds like a country song. Steve.
Yes.
It's summertime, and man, this summer has been dragging the heat wave.
It feels like we've had 365 days without any precipitation.
I just can't wait till fall comes around because we get the precipitation, and then I get to finally watch season 6 of Only Murders because it stars my future wife and girlfriend,
Barbara Streisand or Meryl Streep.
No, she's married to Martin Short. I would never.
Of course.
I would never. I would never take another man's woman unless it was Benny Blanco's wife.
Of course, yes.
See, what was the number one song?
A
of
Year
Hot
Without
Dance.
Rain by Selena Gomez and The Scene.
And scene. Okay, we're done with the bit, right?
Yes.
Steve, let's just get on with this week's episode. We are talking about Angry Dad, the movie, the TV show, the cartoon. Like Nirvana, the band, the movie. But Angry Dad, the movie, the cartoon show. The Simpsons, Steve. Bart makes a short film based on the character Angry Dad, which he, of course, created in the episode I Am Furious Yellow, which we reviewed, I'm going to say like 4 weeks ago.
Sure.
So as soon as it becomes successful, it gets nominated for several awards, but Homer, that's the dad, is taking all the goddamn credit.
Oof.
All right, Steve, let's go ahead and watch the episode and come on back.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Today we're talking about Angry Dad, the movie. It's the 14th episode of the 22nd season. It's episode 478 in the show's run. The original air date, February 20th, 2011. The nerd code is NABF07, written by John Frink, directed by Matthew Nastuk, showrunner Algie.
Alrighty, John Frink, we've talked about him quite a bit. Of course, he started writing with Don Payne, his partner, who is sadly no longer with us. They wrote 9 episodes together, and then he's gone on to write 31 more. This is the 23rd we've reviewed. Other ones include Simpsons Tall Tales, some Treehouse of Horrors, The Bart Once Wet It Once, All About Lisa, Lost Horizon, Eeny, Teeny, Maya Mo, which was just reviewed not too long ago on our 379th episode, The Bob Next Door, 500 Keys, Politically Inept with Homer Simpson, that being the one with everyone's favorite Ted Nugent, What to Expect When Bart's Expecting, Love's in the Air, Supervised, and others. Most recently, Guess Who's Coming to Skinner. I'm trying to think if there's any that I'm really looking forward to that we haven't reviewed yet. I still want to talk about Bobby It's Cold Outside because I don't know who the Bobby is, and I still assume it's Bobby Hill. Waiting for Duffman, the Italian Bob, which is not a beloved episode, at least in my mind. Yeah.
I'm not really looking forward to the, what was the Duffman one you just said?
Waiting for Duffman.
I just don't like Duffman. We know this on the podcast. We're not
Right.
Duffman. We're Miller High Life men.
Yeah.
The champagne of cartoon characters.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to Peeping Mom and the 7 Beer Itch and 'Tis the 30th Season. That's a
Indeed.
that is a Christmas one, right? 'Tis the 30th Season.
I think so.
Just because the word "tis" is in it. The most recent one he wrote was, you said, Men Behaving Manly from season 36. So, he's still cooking up there, Mr. Frink.
And of course, Guess Who's Coming to Skinner, which was from season 37.
Oh, did I go wrong with...
You just won wrong. You're fine.
I was in the wrong order there. Yeah. I literally didn't look under the notes. Because I don't think things under me that much. Whatever that means.
Of course.
See, let's just start the episode, and we got ourselves... Well, before we begin, let's just remind people that this is a sequel episode, which we don't really get on Simpsons as sequel to an episode, because after we watched it, I'm like, oh yeah, you really... If you watch the first, episode this was based off of, they do make reference to... When it comes up, of course, they make reference to the previous story. So it's kind of nice that there is like a little bit of continuity that is helpful in this episode. So it doesn't just mean like, let's ignore what we saw just by an offhand comment, but we actually show actual sequel-esque episode. Has there ever been another sequel episode?
I don't think so, unless it involves like a character being born or dying, like with Apu's like family issues, or like Maud Flanders and like continuing Ned's story. But like this is like an actual sequel to a thing that didn't involve like cast members coming or going, or like the birth of a new character.
Wasn't there an episode that was a sequel to the Frank Grimes episode where it's like Frank Grimes' family?
Yeah, and then you could also argue that SpongeBob, Sideshow Bob episodes are kind of
Sure.
an ever growing story.
But just taking one kind of basic episode and then making a sequel off of it, yeah. Because you were saying like based off like characters, and like this one in a way it's not. It's just a continuation. So, all right. Well, let's just begin it.
Yes.
It begins with a title gag, and we see Santa's little helper leaping into the air to catch a frisbee.
Or a whammo flying disc for you purists. And then we have a couch gag, and the Simpsons skate into the living room, which is covered in ice, as hockey players with Homer and Lisa versus Marge, Bart, and Maggie. It's a fair team. And then, so at face-off, Bart punches Homer, causing an all-out brawl. And I really like that Lisa is like pinning down Bart and just beating the shit out of him. And so refs Lenny and Carl break up the ruckus and send both sides to the penalty box, where Homer spits out a tooth.
Seems weird after 22 seasons. They haven't done a penalty box bit.
Yeah, it's right there.
Why didn't they have this for Lisa on ice?
I know.
I'm always amazed by some of the stuff they haven't done after like so many years. I'm like, oh yeah, that seems obvious. Why has that not happened? All right, well, let's just begin the episode. And it begins like many episodes begin, with Bart watching Itchy and Scratchy. And in this installment, The Cat and Mouse is entitled The Great Brawl of China. And with a young Scratchy helping an elderly in the rice paddies when Itchy rides by on horseback, demanding the old cat's hat. Itchy then proceeds to cut off the head of the cat to get the hat. Itchy then climbs the many steps of Miaolin Monastery, beginning his martial arts training. So after the montage of silhouette fights, carrying buckets up a mountain, and chasing a feather on a stick, because he's a cat, Scratchy passes his SATs, or the Shaolin Aptitude Test. And, he's ready for vengeance.
So chapter 3 of that animated short, and it's fitting that there's an animated short up top, because that's what this episode is all about. It begins with Scratchy knocking on Itchy's lair. Then Mouse tells him to enter and die. So as they fight, Scratchy's sensei appears, reminding him that mercy is the greatest weapon of all. And Scratchy thanks his mentor for freeing him from the bounds of revenge. The teacher then rips off his mask to reveal him to be Itchy, and the mouse, sought to be Itchy originally, was actually his mentor. And so the mice then cut up Scratchy into several pieces and eat him up.
Is this one of the longest Itchy and Scratchy cartoons?
I mean, it had 3 chapters. I feel like it's a pretty lengthy one.
That's what she said.
Of course, parodying a lot of samurai or ninja kung fu type movies, but of course, mostly a lot of parodying of Kill Bill's Volume 1 and 2, which of course then is Tarantino parodies,
Sure.
What I said before. Well, after laughing at the somewhat problematic cartoon, Bart notices that the rest of the family is still gone. Why didn't he go with them? He's 10. I don't know. I got to stay home alone when I was 10.
Sure. I guess I did too.
I remember that one time you got to stay home alone because your parents forgot you and they flew to New York. Oh, no, France.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, Joe Pesci and Kevin Arnold's voice came to rob your house.
And the following year, a very similar situation happened, but I stayed in a hotel. Met a really nice guy. He pointed me to the lobby. It was great.
And the bellboy, he was really funny too.
So funny.
And that's how you met your wife. She was the pigeon lady.
Exactly.
And then you got recast, and we didn't care about you anymore.
Nope, but they still made like 4 more of them.
And really shitty Disney Plus one. Anyway, so wondering what to do, Bart looks to the ceiling fan, which transforms into a smiling clown, tempting him to get this party started. And I know we're not playing a clip, but that voice of the clown, Dan Castellaneta, is like a very creepy, like amalgamation of, of like crusty, Homer-y. Yeah.
The baby sleeps here. That's what it reminds me of.
So anyways, Bart shrugs in agreement and then grabs a chair. Meanwhile, at Pink Beardy Yogurt, Marge consults her watch to figure that Bart has been on his own for a full 23 minutes, which is funny because that's the length of the episode, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's eager to get this yo on the road, but Homer hasn't selected his mix in for the menu. And we have flavors that include
Fruity Booty,
Scuttle Buckety Crunch,
Strawberry Swill,
Buried Treasure, and
Davy Jones Liquor.
I believe Davy Jones Liquor is in the front because it's poker in the back.
Yes. And it was surprisingly Michael Nesmith.
Mix-ins include
Sprinkle Me Timbers,
Yo Ho Ho, and a lot of yum.
Starboard Brickle,
Mizzen Match,
Munchin on the Bounty,
and Pieces of 8.
Spelled ATE, of course.
Yes. All right, Steve. You're a big ice cream boy, even though this is a yogurt, frozen yogurt. Same thing. What are you getting?
I think I'm going to go with the buried treasure topped with some, maybe some pieces of 8, whatever that is. How about you?
I'm assuming the fruity booty is probably like Fruity Pebbles.
Could be, yeah.
Strawberry Swill is nice. I'm going to go with Fruity Booty and Yo-Ho-Ho and a lot of yum.
Of course, yes. This is a very California-centric, or LA-centric episode, and I think Pinkberry, which is what Pink Beauty is a parody of, I know that there are other places, but I think they're mostly in LA, especially at this time when they're at their height. Have we talked about frozen yogurt? Like, it's fine.
I just remember the boom of the frozen yogurt in the 80s and 90s and how it was. They would say, this is the ice cream or, the ice desserts you could eat without the guilt because it's healthy for you. There's low fat. And of course, there's that episode of Seinfeld about the frozen yogurt. And like TCBY was like king. It was, I remember like people like, we got to go to TCBY, like screw the Baskin Robbins because they're crappy ice cream. Now, where do you see a TCBY, Steve? Baskin Robbins is still there and it's still on top.
I do remember going to get frozen yogurt, they're like self-serve places that are like by the pound with my wife when we first started dating, around this time actually, when this episode first aired. It was near the college campus where she is going. But yeah, you don't see too many yogurt places. I think last time I had one was like, this is for Portland people, but near the IKEA, there's one place that was pretty okay.
I mean, to me, it's perfectly fine, but like, if you got to choose like gelato over ice cream over frozen yogurt, you're going to go gelato, ice cream, then maybe frozen yogurt. And like, didn't Pinkberry, did they go under or just like they're not as good as they used to be? Like just like mini chain, like mini like restaurants, they start small, like an independent, then they grow into franchises. It always just goes to hell.
Yeah, it's diminishing returns. It's like they get too big too fast. And so, yeah. Well, so back to the episode. Homer selects Squeaky Voice Teen's tips as his mix-in, so the froyo artist reluctantly stirs in his dollars and coins into Homer's bowl.
Now that's the mix-ins I want.
Yeah, especially in this economy.
I'm going to go to a coffee shop and like, just get a coffee and then put the tip jar in my coffee. Like, I just need it instead of sugar and cream.
Yeah, I need something sweeter, like cold, hard cash.
And the cocaine residue from those dollar bills.
And the stripper sweat.
And the fecal matter that's inevitably on all of the money.
What are people doing with dollar bills these days?
Well, usually I'm out of toilet paper, so I, use a dollar bill, and then I, rinse it off real quick, then put my cocaine on it, and then I snort it with another dollar bill. I snort with a broken mirror, actually. That's my straw.
Right. Yeah.
I do the reverse.
I like to go Coke, shit, wipe. It's cleaner.
Instead of the shit shower shave.
Exactly. So back in the Simpsons living room, Bart ties one end of a rope to the ceiling fan and the other around his waist. So with the fan spinning, Bart hops on a skateboard and lets the rope yank him through the living room, then the kitchen, and then through the dining room and up the stairs. As he goes through each room, he leaves a path of destruction behind him. Bart then goes out the window and through the trees and into the Flanders dining room, where he freshens up Rod's sandwich by burping on it.
It's awful nice that the ceiling fan paused for Bart to burp on his sandwich.
Yes. It's a very polite clown fan.
So Bart then returns to the house, still connected to that rope, crashing through the living room, saying how much he loves Saturdays. So the fan continues to spin, pull Bart closer and closer. Then the clown reappears, laughing as he says, "I'm gonna kill you, boy." Just as Bart is about to be sliced up, he pulls the cord and turns the fan off. Oof. After a sigh of relief, Bart says, and he's bored. So when the family returns, Homer is a little upset. But then a visitor comes to the door to cause a distraction.
That's it, boy! I'm eating your yogurt!
You ate his yogurt in the car.
He didn't know that. Stupid kid, all you do is cost me money. Money I could be wasting.
Is Bart Simpson here? Because I'm about to make him and his family very wealthy.
Wealthy? Hey, remember the guy who drove you to school at one time?
I should introduce myself. My name is Herman Millwood, and my company makes the Aero Chair.
The most comfortable ergonomic chair there is.
So, what brings you here, Mr. Chair?
Bart, do you remember this?
That's Angry Dad, the semi-autobiographical web cartoon I created.
I legally forced him to say semi.
The multi-million-dollar internet startup that put Angry Dad on the net ordered a lot of my chairs.
So Herman Millwood and his Aero Chair is a parody of Herman Miller and his Aeron Chair, which was very popular with the dot-com bubble era startup time.
Wow. Well, it's funny like that. I wouldn't even assumed an anecdote like that, Steve.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Like, do they need to do that? I guess. I think you're right. This is an episode of they're trying to break a story in the writer's room.
Mm-hmm.
Their interns brought Pinkberry. They're eating Pinkberry. Someone's looking at their chair, which is a Aeron chair. Like, I don't know, something with these chairs.
You know, we talk a lot about how a lot of the, post-Golden Age seasons are very one-act strong, third-act weak, and I think this might be the opposite.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that, Steve. So as Z Spy Bye Bye plays, we jump back to the optimistic days of 1999, where the better-than-TV.com offices were thriving until they felt the pain of the tech bubble popping, resulting in fire, chaos, and anarchy, and the chairs in the workplace were never paid for. So the cartoons were used as payment. So this was like the flashback scene I was talking about. Like, This is the offices where, Bart went to get his cartoon mate. So it was nice, like, seeing, like, when everything went to hell.
Yeah, it looks cool until it doesn't.
Right. So some of the animated shorts include, now I'm going to ask you which one you want to watch.
Of course.
Space Penis. Gina Davis Internet Project 1999. John Stankworth Fart Detective. And The Adventures of Parody Man, which is a lot like a Combo Man, which we talked about. It was like in the back of the Marvel comic books. But this one, Parody Man, has Darth Vader's helmet, Wolverine's claws, like Thor's hammers, Spider-Man's torso, and Supergirl's skirt and legs?
Yeah.
Sure. So which one are you watching?
I do love me some Gina Davis, and, she was great in that show that aired probably around 1999 where she was the president, I think. And I think she also had a sitcom. They really wanted to do something with Gina Davis, but, I got to go with Space Penis. What are you watching?
I mean, I have to watch Space Penis because I want to see the Space Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like fart humor that much, but I really got to see what John Stankworth Fart Detective is. Is he just like going around and when someone farts, he just determines who was the dealter?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I wonder if there's an episode where there's at a casino and he's at the blackjack table and he's like, whoever smelt it, dealt it.
All right, well, all of them sound great.
Yes. What's funny, too, is that if Disney can only get Supergirl's rights, they could host Parody Man at this point.
Well, I mean, just change the leg and skirts to, like, Ms. Marvel. Isn't it, like, green? When Jean Grey wears that, like, green dress with the weird mask.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right.
But the most important IP that was repoed is Angry Dad, because now the chair company exec wants to turn that into a movie. Bart thanks the man for turning his stupid idea into a film, but the credit should really go to Hollywood for being completely devoid of original ideas. And so Homer is, of course, proud of Bart, calling him a little Roman Polanski, until Marge reminds Homer of Roman's non-Chinatown-related exploits, causing him to call Bart a monster and then choking him.
I think the joke should have been, well, Bart's 10, she was 13, so it's okay.
I admit that I like that joke better, but I don't know if it would fly.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying Homer is like, it should have been like, but Bart's 10 and she's 13. Where is she?
Who's the real monster?
Exactly. Again, it's all horrible, and Roman Polanski should be in jail forever.
Yes.
Sorry, Quentin Tarantino. I know he's your hero.
He really stuck his foot in his mouth talking about Roman Polanski like that, but he enjoyed it.
So over at Nickel and Dime Animation Studios, with a sign saying, "Who made the bad Popeyes?" I always blame Sarah. She just doesn't know how to cook the chicken right.
It's very location dependent, but when you get a good one, yeah.
Well, the one by my house is pretty decent. So Bart thinks, okay, that was really fucking weird. I have to stop right now. My cell phone is on, and I got a pop-up from Popeyes.
Whoa.
Like a notification.
That is very weird.
Yeah. Well, I guess I know what dinner is tonight, because if it's not Popeyes, I get murdered.
Thanks, algorithm.
Anyways, back to this. Back to the Simpsons. Bart thanks Mr. Millwood for the chance to turn Angry Dad into a movie. Bart has been a fan of animation since the early SpongeBobs. And the studio has quite a track record, creating such classics as Monsters Limited, The Lion King, as in Lying, Lion King, Kung Fu, Koala, and the Not So Incredibles.
It's funny because people talk about SpongeBob, and we are a little bit old for it, but like people have a lot of nostalgia for like the first 2 or 3 years of SpongeBob, and they have strong opinions because I think it's still going. So it's accurate. It's
really annoying for like SpongeBob fans. I apologize to SpongeBob fans, but like yeah, you stick to like the first like 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons of this cartoon that were like the greatest, and now it's in like season 30 something, and you're like complaining about the cartoon SpongeBob all the time. It's like, come on, guys, grow up. You're not children anymore watching cartoons. You're adults. Stop watching cartoons, right?
Just live in the good stuff and let the rest go. That's all you can do. It's just a dumb yellow character.
That being said, there is that line of millennials that either you grew up with SpongeBob or you don't give a shit about it. And it's like, that's us. We're like, we were adults when that came out.
Yeah, I've seen enough to know what works, but yeah, I have no strong opinion about it.
And there is one video that is really funny that I've seen, and it's live action of all the voice actors. Have you seen that one where?
No.
They just do like a sketch, but at Krabby Patty, but it's the guy who plays Patrick Starfish. Like all the actors are just like playing their
Tom
characters,
Kenny and Dauber.
Yeah, as humans and not like in costume. It's a pretty funny bit. I recommend looking it up.
I'll check that out.
Yeah. See, I gave a little praise to SpongeBob.
There you go. So Mr. Millwood feels that Bart's creation has unlimited potential since everyone can relate to having an angry dad. He then flashes back to his own father, berating him for making chairs as a boy, saying that in the Millwood household, they sit on the ground. So after wiping a tear, Mr. Millwood introduces the animation department, who are amazed to see both Bart and Angry Dad himself, likening it to meet both Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney. And we get a Mickey laugh from Homer, and also some prescience from The Simpsons, because this is, like 5, 6, 7 years before Disney would gobble up Fox.
So when the artist responsible for animating Homer's ass, they ask for some pointers. So he proceeds to stick a deck of cards down the back of his pants, and his cheeks shuffle the deck, and then use his ass to open a glass bottle of Buzz Cola, which he offers to the animators, but they politely decline. So Homer drinks the soda through his butt. I think this scene's kind of funny, brilliant, just because they're animators. Like, how do we animate your ass doing something funny? And literally the animators animated Homer to do something funny.
That is very true, yeah.
Have you ever drank anything with your ass?
Let me think. No. I've also never shuffled cards.
With your ass or just with your hands?
I've shuffled with my hands, but I have rolled dice with my ass.
You can your ass has taste buds. So if you do drink something from your ass, you can kind of taste it. It was a proven fact on the Howard Stern show. Richard Christie drank beer from his butt and could determine which beer his butt was drinking.
Wow. That's impressive. That you pulled that name out of your ass. Richard Christie. How did you just know that?
Well, I know who Richard... I mean, he's a writer, mainstay on the Howard Stern show. And to metal heads out there, death metal heads, he's one of the best death metal drummers of all time, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That shows you how much money death metal makes.
Yeah.
He has to have a day job on the Howard Stern show.
Drinking beer out of his ass.
Well, I'm just saying, I know what we're doing for the Annoyed Grunt Boys podcast for this month.
Okay.
I know you don't drink alcohol anymore, but You better take one for the team, Steve.
It's fine. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to want to get drunk. So it's...
Well, your ass will get drunk.
Yeah. One of the studio employees gives Bart the bad news that the actor who originally played Angry Dad's voice, that was, of course, Dan Castellaneta, blew out his own voice because he never got paid, and therefore cannot do the movie. And since Homer was the inspiration, they wonder if he can do the voice, assuming that he can get angry at the drop of a hat. And so Homer proves himself by kicking down a maze of cubicles in a fit of rage, saying that it would be an honor to voice Angry Dad.
At the round table script reading of Angry Dad, muffins are offered, but only for the producers. There's like two armed guards right there. Bart informs the staff that Homer will perform via speakerphone, since Zoom hasn't been invented yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something very important and occurring at the nuclear power plant. That's why he's on speakerphone. And then we learn that it's Taco Tuesday.
Worth it.
Did you notice, like, there's another person at the table read that looks like Steve Buscemi?
I did notice that. And I feel like the person sitting to the right of Lisa is somebody too, but I'm not exactly sure.
We'll never know, Steve.
All right. Well, Lisa begins with script descriptions of Angry Dad standing at the top of the stairs. Homer declares that Angry Dad has graduated from his anger management class, and so Lisa then reads that Angry Dad slips and crashes down the stairs. Homer chimes in saying pained noises, but Lisa instructs him to actually make pain noises rather than just say the words. And so Homer asks Lenny to hit him with a chair. And then there's a thud, followed by a dial tone.
Great scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's theater of the mind. I like that scene. Okay, so during the test screening, Bart introduces himself as the creator of Angry Dad, saying that he had to miss several hours of school, but that there was a hardship as well. After presenting the final result, which clocks in at 4 hours and 34 minutes, Mr. Milkwood shows Bart a video of the audience as they watch the movie, to see the reaction, of course. So the tape shows the crowd laughing and cheering. And then once the movie actually begins, the people get mad. One man shaking his chair in front of him, begging that they turn it off. And he's a fun recurring character in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So Homer tries to offer Bart comfort, but Lisa offers an idea.
Don't feel bad, boy. Everyone makes mistakes. Yours is just public and expensive.
You know, your movie's not all bad. If you cut out the stuff that didn't work, it would make a great short film.
A short film?
Many great directors like Wes Anderson, Frank Tashlin, and Tim Burton started with short films.
Name one more.
Taylor Hackford.
Well, I don't know who that is, but I'm convinced. Let's start cutting.
Buongiorno. Where is the Bart Simpson?
I am the Bart.
Bravissimo. You know me as Luigi, the spaghetti guy. But I am here in my capacity as a member of the Hollywood Foreign Press. Your animated short, Angry Dad. Or as we call it in the pizza English, Papa Apoplectica. She has been nominated for a Golden Globe.
I love the when Bart's like, all right, let's start cutting, and just has a chef's knife and just starts cutting the film. And no one stops him.
No, he just like chop, chop, chop. And of course, Taylor Hackford is known for the short film Teenage Father, which came out in 1978.
Yeah, Teenage Father. Cool. Are we watching that on the Patreon?
I don't know. It's 25 minutes. I feel that's a little long.
We only watch things that are 22 minutes on this podcast.
Exactly. It also should be noted that, Luigi mentioned that Angry Dad was nominated for a Golden Globe, but they don't have a category for Best Animated Short.
Well, I haven't hit this button in a long time.
Boy, I really hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Lisa excuses himself to give bad news to Sir Anthony Hopkins that his pizza is going to be late. So across the street, maybe in the Bush's former home, the Silence of the Lambs star takes a break from his RC car to curse Luigi to hell.
I think this should be an ongoing bit. The Bush house should always be there, but like if there's ever a celebrity, I know this is not actually Sir Anthony Hopkins' voice, but like if they ever have want a celebrity, they should always have them move into that house.
I love that idea.
Yeah. And just the idea of the Sir Anthony Hopkins sitting on his driveway playing with an RC car. I feel like that's something he actually would do. I don't know, because all accounts, he's just this kind of normal, like fun, nice guy. Like you think of him because he's a sir, and he's always been like serious, dramatic actor. But I don't know. We should put him in a comedy film, like with let's say Rob Schneider, Dean Cain.
Ooh, yeah.
Hercules. What's that guy's name? Kevin Sorbo. Shane Gillis, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
Russell Brand. We'll see him later in this episode.
Oh, yay. Yes, we will.
Armie Hammer and other canceled people.
Yeah, we'll give Tim Allen a cameo, too.
He's not canceled, Steve.
Yet. He wants to be so bad.
They're not allowed to cancel him because Toy Story makes too much money.
Yeah, he's got that Pixar goodwill that he can't get rid of.
Yeah. Disney will like literally say, we will murder you if you keep saying shit.
Oh?
So at the red carpets of the Golden Globes, the stars arrive in a sea of flashing cameras. So when the Simpsons step out of the limo, the paparazzi take a break, but resume when Elton John and paparazzi singer herself, Lady Gaga. Is this the Lady Gaga episode? So we're watching it now. All right, cool.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah, we can end the podcast now.
So they walk behind the family. Lisa starstruck, seeing the creative team from Mixar, dorks in Aloha shirts, riding razor scooters while playing with paddle balls, yo-yos, and a slinky. Lisa has seen all of their movies, except Cars, and is honored that her brother is among the digital Rembrandts of the modern era.
That is such a funny line to me.
The Cars?
Yeah.
Well, I told you I finally watched it like a year ago, and it's not bad. It's good.
Okay.
And the creative team from Mixar, like, they're very animated to look like real people. Is this actually Pixar animators, or is it Simpsons animators, or do you have any information for me about those character sheets?
Looking through the notes, I am not seeing that it is anybody, but I would assume that it is probably Pixar animators. It's John Lasseter is one of them from Pixar. So yeah, they're Pixar people that probably Simpsons people are either familiar with or have worked with in the past, because there's a lot of crossover in animation. So seeing that Bart is competition for them, the Mixar team welcomes Randy Newman to express their feelings, singing, "You've got an enemy," adding that Bart better have 9 lives since they have 8 knives. And then the Mixar lamp then shines in Lisa's face while Mr. Carrot Head threatens her with a bat and Wally points a gun at her.
Well, inside the Golden Globes, we see Ricky Gervais visiting the bar, not noticing the sign that says he isn't allowed to host. Was this at the time when, how old is this episode again?
So it's 2011, so yeah, about 80.
Because remember how, like, vicious he was at the Golden Globes?
Yeah, and, like, they wanted him to never host, and didn't they, like, even consider not having a host, or is that something else? I don't remember.
Well, they kept bringing him back because he got ratings. Anyway, so after ordering a Tanqueray gin and tonic, the original Office star brags that he's paid a large, nondescript sum of money to drink the cocktail in his movies. He then looks for some credit for a generous tip, and in this clip we are introduced to someone even worse than Ricky. Who could that be?
Oh, okay, you missed it, but I just put a tip in there. A big one. Double digits. 10. The lowest of the double digits, but nevertheless, $10. So, a lot of money to you. Less to me, but $10 nonetheless. Look at it.
The 10? That was there before.
It was not! Who else in here's going to tip $10? Keith Urban? Helen Mirren? I don't think so. They don't have a common touch, do they? Like me. You've seen that. We've bonded. You're thinking, wow, he's rich, he's famous, he's got great abs, personal trainer. You couldn't afford that. I used to be fat. I used to eat junk food. You probably still do. But you're going, wow, look at him. How much does that suit cost him? Nothing. I got it for free. That's what happens when you're a celebrity. And Helen, she can't hear me. Helen Mirren. Who does she think she is? Fur coat, no knickers. Anyway, mate, your ice is dripping.
And now, to present the Golden Globe for Best Animated Short, Russell Brand.
It's great to be here with all the old friends I haven't seen since rehab. No, I'm just kidding. None of you are my friends.
So the Ricky Gervais, I don't know, this is when we still liked him, right? Or when you still liked him, 2011.
Yeah, I think that he does such a good job in both film and in person of playing an unlikable person that sometimes I start to believe it.
That art imitates life and vice versa.
Yes. Did you know, Craig, that Ricky Gervais is an atheist?
No, I didn't.
Well, yeah, he rarely mentions it. But also, he actually made history on The Simpsons, becoming the first guest star to both write and voice act in a full episode. In season 17, Homer Simpson, This Is Your Wife. And so this is a return to Ricky Gervais. This is his second appearance on the show.
We haven't reviewed that one yet, but he did play a different character than himself, right? Or was he playing Ricky? I forget.
No, he did play a different character. I don't remember the name, but it is like a Ricky Gervais type character, but not quite.
Again, we haven't watched that episode yet, but I kind of remember not liking it.
Me too.
Okay. Well, eventually we get to it, unless we do an audible, but I don't think we will. There's other things he said about other, like, he's like, does he defend J.K. Rowling?
He does, yeah. I don't understand, like, I know that the political spectrum in the UK is different than the US, but I feel like he's somebody who's defended people more than they needed to be defended.
Is he one that would defend a Russell Brand?
Perhaps, yeah. And yeah, Russell Brand, never that likable, but yeah, he's definitely worse. He went from being like drug addict, dating astronauts and whatnot, to maybe being a little pedo-y, and now he's like gone all Christian.
Because he knows that's where the grift is. Like, you could just become like a born-again Christian and grift people. That's all you need to do. Sadly, that's how many people get by in life, is being these Christian grifters.
Yeah.
And I just never was a fan of Russell Brand. Like he's like the main reason. Like, Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a good movie. And I know his character is like, you're not supposed to like him. And that's a reason why, too. Like, I can't watch this. Like, I never saw the movie. No, I did see Get Him to the Greek, but like, it's not a fan. Like, everyone in that movie, Get Him to the Greek, has been canceled, right? We don't like anyone in that movie.
Yeah, no, is that a direct sequel to?
Not as, it's the same character, so it's,
right.
In the universe, but I don't think like Jason Segel or Kristen Bell. Not Kristen. Who does he end up with? That's Sarah Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Because who does he end up with again in the Sarah Marshall? Is it like Mila Kunis? Is she in that movie? I haven't seen the movie in 20 years. Because Kristen Bell's his ex, Jason Segel.
Right. And then, let's see, Judd Apatow, Bill Hader. I think it was Kristen Bell. I'm trying to think who else.
But he has to forget Sarah Marshall because he sees her, and then he hooks up, or then he falls in love with a new girl, right? That's like tries to help him.
Right. That is, of course, Paul Rudd. It was Mila Kunis.
See, I know my TV.
Yeah, you got it. Meg herself.
Gross.
The nominees for Best Animated Short are introduced, and we see some very well animated clips, such as The Brothers of Beauville, a spoof of the Triplets of Belleville, which shows one French sibling snorting a wedge of cheese up his nose and turning it into cheese cubes, another brother snorting grapes and turning them into wine, and then a third brother inhaling several toothpicks up his nose and shooting them out to form the Eiffel Tower. And then he runs around pained as blood pours out of his nose, and his siblings croak with laughter, and their overweight dog laps up the blood.
I've never seen The Triplets of Belleville, because I know it's a very famous animated. Mm-hmm. Is this what it's about? Because then I will watch it, because this cartoon is hilarious.
I have no idea what it's about. It's one that I wanted to see that I never did. But yeah, if it's like this, I'm down to see it.
I just love the blood.
Yeah.
All the animated shorts that are in this are very dark. I think it's great.
And very well done.
But is this like maybe a response to like the Academy Awards always nominating drama over comedy?
Could be,
it's
yeah.
Always pain and suffering that wins awards. Like, it is a shame that there is not a comedy category at the Oscars. And don't give me this like Golden Globes musical or comedy. Fuck that shit. Make it just musical and just comedy. I know there's not like many musicals that come out every year, but if it's a musical, it's always going to win that.
Yeah, and just tell Hugh Jackman to show up or not, and it'll be fine.
Seriously, the Napa Boys, like that should be nominated for the Oscars for funniest movie of the year. Or I haven't seen it yet, but the new David Wayne film, which I'm dying to see.
Yeah, exactly.
All of his movies are like my favorite comedy movies, like of new comedy movies, not your old standards, but those should be nominated,
we don't talk about David Wayne enough, not just on this podcast, but in the conversation. But he is one of the most consistently good comedy directors of the past 30 years.
It's the 25th anniversary of Wet Hot American Summer, right?
Yes, and listeners, if you have not seen that, stop what you're doing. Turn this podcast off and watch that movie right now. It's great.
This is where we might have to do that because David Wayne like brings out like why people like Paul Rudd. Like you don't know why we like Paul Rudd, but it's those movies that David Wayne, like Wet Hot American, his character, when he enters, okay, now this is a Wet Hot American. I always have this in my mind when he enters in Wet Hot American, when he comes in his motorcycle and just like jumps off and then kicks the motorcycle while it's still going. I don't know. This is the funniest fucking thing to me. And his like whole character, him and, what's her name? Elizabeth Banks, just so fucking good in that movie.
As is Christopher Maloney.
I mean, everyone in that movie is fucking great, but it's just like their two characters. The joke that they're all like, at that time, very close to 30 years old, maybe like 27, 8-ish years old, but they're supposed to be high school kids. It couldn't just, I mean, Michael Showalter, obviously, in that. The series was great. Okay. And of course, I've said before, my favorite comedy of the past 20 years was
They Came Together.
They Came Together, yeah. Anyways, we're not doing this. Sorry, I had a side tangent. I don't know how that got up there, but we're talking about parodies. Okay, so let's go to another animated short, and it's called Saakashville Spring.
Yes.
It's a Persepolis parody,
and that's another one that I have not seen. That one is not fun either, but I really want to see it. And sadly, we just lost the creator, Mary Jane Satrapi. Sorry for the name pronunciation, but I think she just passed.
You got it right, Mary Jane.
Okay, thank you.
Or as her boyfriend Peter called her, MJ.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, so it demonstrates the brutalities of a war-torn country in a stark black and white. A tank moves its aim from a little girl to a water tower in the distance, and when the tower is hit, it pours water down the hill, causing the flower to grow. The girl sticks the flower into the barrel of the tank, causing it to sneeze. It's just funny because the tank has like eyes and like eyebrows and facial features. And so as it sneezes, the flower hits a butterfly and blows it up, and it begins to snow the snow down butterfly pieces. And the young girl catches a piece on her tongue, then kills her. So that the tank sobs. And then he lives peaceful, still existence until years later when the playground is formed around it. And then it explodes, killing several children. I don't know. That one's way funnier than the Triples of Belleville parody. They're so good.
Yeah, like it does such a good job of portraying like beauty and pain. Like it's deep, but it's not. And I don't know. I think it's really good both as a parody and as a real thing. And then we have Mixar submission Condiments is next, and one of the Mixar dorks pulls out his award polish. And then we have Angry Dad. And despite being Homer being the only one to cheer, Bart's film takes a prize.
I was a little disappointed when I was watching this because like they just announced Condiments and Angry Dad. We don't get to see them, but maybe they're saving it for a later scene.
I think so. So Bart walks to the stage to find Homer already there to accept the award. And Homer even makes an acceptance speech, pushing Bart out of the way.
I have many people to thank. Angry Dad's voice is part Walter Matthau.
Hey, Felix.
Part Little Richard. Woo! And a little bit of Snoopy when he cries.
This is insane. He didn't show up for work, he badmouthed the movie on Jimmy Fallon, and now he's hogging all the credit.
Don't worry, sweetie. This is just the first of way too many award shows. You'll get your chance to say ridiculous things.
I'd like to thank Mr. Speedy Pants Repair for sewing up my pants just before the ceremony, and the woman who has inspired me every day for the past 25 years, the cute one from the Bengals. See you at the cool party.
This is an episode very much a love letter to animation. The fact that Homer Dan got to do his Walter Matthau, and then I like the little Richard, woo! And then he gets to do Snoopy. He got to do Mickey, so he's just getting all the voices out.
Yeah, and I like that he mentioned the cute one from the Bengals, which is, of course, Susanna Hoffs.
Are you sure he was talking about Susan Hoffs? I mean, that's who I would have thought.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to I don't want to rank the Bengals, but if I had to pick one, I would say.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Vicky Peterson, Debbie Peterson, Annette Zelinskas.
And Abby Travis, who was a member since 2005.
Susanna Hoffs, 67.
2 more years. But now, 6'7".
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So Homer continues to take all the credit at the Children's Choice Awards, where he gets a blimp statue and Bart is slimed. And then Bart puts his handprints in front of Grauman's Chinese Theater, but Homer puts his own handprints over his son's and then replaces Bart's name with his own. And then Homer gets the Mark Twain Award at the Kennedy Center Honors, and once again, Bart is covered in slime. And then the Jurassic Park theme is played, too soon. Homer flirts with the bunnies at the Playboy Mansion while Bart is attacked by peacocks.
Yeah, I'm going to timestamp this podcast record because it was just weird that the Jurassic Park theme is playing and literally Sam Neill died yesterday. So
it's very weird.
Yeah. It's like, God, fate, or whatever gave us a win this weekend with a death of someone. I won't say who, but I'm just going to say Ladybugs and Lady G. And then we're all kind of like, cool. Like not wishing death on someone who's a bigot, closeted bigot himself. But then like a day later, here's Sam Neill.
Yeah. Who by all counts was a great guy.
Yeah. But at least he doesn't have to make one of those shitty Jurassic Park movies ever again.
That's true.
Unless the next sequel is like, wait a minute, what if we clone Alan Grant as a dinosaur?
Well, don't give them gold. Come on.
So early in the morning, the Hollywood Hotel, Bart is awoken by a phone call. So he removes his retainer, which is very funny. I know it's because Bart has a retainer. I don't know why that's funny. You don't see him having that. Like the fact that Bart would be responsible with a retainer doesn't seem like his character. Anyways, he's stunned to learn that Angry Dad received an Oscar nomination. And if you guys don't know, like this is how the Hollywood Foreign Press always tells people that they're nominated. They always like wake everyone up at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
I do remember waking up sometimes when I was like a kid, because I'm a cool guy, just to watch like the nominations at like 4 in the morning.
So Bart begins to sing and dance about the Academy Awards and making sure not to claim the gift basket he'll receive. So Homer walks into the room with a pocket full of trophies, wanting to know who's calling at 5 in the morning. Bart says it was a wrong number. And Homer replies if it was the right number, Bart would be in big trouble.
It's a weird punishment. So on the red carpet of the Oscars, Bart is interviewed by a correspondent of ETV, not E Entertainment Television, just an ETV, and not ETTV, which is a channel that I wish I had. He introduces his date as his lame-o sister, who is wearing a dress from Lamps Plus. The interviewer asks about Homer's whereabouts, and Bart figures his father is seeing the sights, such as the Watts Tower, which wobbles when Homer plinks it, despite a sign telling him not to. Just then, Homer and Marge are greeted by some locals.
Yo, why you messing with Simon Rodriguez's folk art masterpiece?
Check it out, that's Angry Dad.
Hey, why ain't you at the Oscars, AD?
Oscars? What are you talking about? My son gave me this list of awesome things to do in L.A.
Chatsworth? That's where the 118 meets Topanga Canyon, fool.
Someone must not want you that kudo cast, yo.
Damn, home simp, you've been Oscar blocked. What do you think about that, Nasty J?
That's cold.
Who could possibly want to stop me from accepting an award?
My category comes up pretty soon. I'm home free as long as this Oscar show is tight and fast-paced.
Sound mixers may not be glamorous, but they make us sound so good.
Without them, we'd be up a creek without a decibel.
No worries, AD. We got time. We'll get you over to your venue and pick up some dim sum on the way. According to this live blog, Ben Stiller and Jack Black are doing a bit that will not end.
So normally when there's a list, I like to pause it and write it down. And I didn't for the list of sites that Bart made for Homer because they're just boring LA things that are not exciting at all. And I don't have the LA wherewithal to look up why they're boring. And I figure that unless you're in LA, you probably don't know them anyway. So that's why I didn't.
I'm going to say them anyways.
Okay.
The Watts Towers, which they're at the Watts Towers. The Cerritos Auto Square. It's just Cerritos is like a town, in that area. It's just, a giant auto mall, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Keys on Van Nuys.
The El Toro Y, or El Toro.
I think, it's just a YMCA. The California Incline.
The Valley, which is just literally the Valley.
LAX.
LAX long-term parking lot, C.
The Beverly Connection, which I think is just an exit.
The 405 and the 10 Freeway Exchange.
Chatsworth.
And Long Beach City College. Again, this is just the writers in the room having fun.
Yeah.
I think we said before, this is an LA-centric episode.
It's very inside baseball. And I do like J.B. Smoove, who plays DJ Kwanzaa, calling Homer AD, Angry Dad, like he would call Larry David LD.
And I love the parody of the sound mixer and just like every time those award shows happen, there's always shitty written joke dialogue.
Yeah. And often, too, like lately, I've noticed that most award shows, the sound in the show is horrible, always.
Right. And we learned that Ben Stiller and Jack Black are doing a stupid bit, which is a thing. I feel like Ben Stiller does a lot of bits at award shows.
Yeah, and they never quite land.
Ben Stiller seems like a piece of shit, doesn't he?
He does. He seems like an asshole. Like, I like his work. I love Severance. I think Cable Guy is grossly underrated. And I also like...
Mystery Men
and the Gen X movie. What am I blanking on it? Janine Garofalo and Ethan Hawke.
Oh, Truth About Dogs and Vaginas.
Reality Bites, yes.
Was he in Truth About Cats and Dogs? Who am I thinking of? Who's in that movie?
Bruce McCullough.
Bruce McCullough's in that?
Yeah.
Was he Gavin?
Yep. Your dog has cancer.
Now I want to watch King of the Hill. Kids in the Hall.
Koth, not Kith.
So indeed, Ben Stiller and Jack Black are hoisted high in the air in the auditorium. Ben is dressed as Iron Man and Jack as the Incredible Hulk, both wielding lightsabers. Again, this is still before Disney bought Star Wars and Marvel, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we are then introduced to Catwoman herself, Halle Berry. And she tells the audience, when people think of animated movies, they usually think of them being at least 40 minutes long. But there's another form of animation, those that are 40 minutes or less.
Oof. So hearing that his category is nearly up, Bart asks the conductor to get his song ready. So Miss Berry says the winner will be announced after a lengthy clip from each film, starting with Condiments. So then we get to see Condiments, the CGI short, beginning with a cowboy bottle of ketchup writing a bottle of horseradish, funny, telling his food friends that the Tabasco brothers got Frenchie a packet of mustard. And so hearing that they'll have to venture beyond the kitchen, a waffle hides in its iron, asking to be woken up for the syrupy ending.
Do you think Seth Rogen and
100%
Goldberg were stoned and watched this episode and like, oh, we should do this, but not be funny?
But be really crass.
And Sausage Party was born, the worst fucking thing I've seen in a long time.
Oh, yeah, it was awful. Didn't they make a sequel, or weren't they working on a sequel?
No, I think there was like a TV show.
That's what it was, yeah.
Anyways, Timmy, the human of the film, walks in, so the condiments return to their non-anthropomorphic versions, and Timmy makes a peanut butter toast, leaving the jar empty. And once the boy is gone, the empty jar begs not to be filled with pencils. He then rolls off the counter and crashes onto the floor, dead.
Yeah, so this is very impressive looking. Like,
oh, yeah.
It looks like I would watch that movie.
As long as Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg didn't write it.
Exactly. So the rolling 80s drop off Homer and Marge in front of the Oscars, telling them that they are lifetime honorary members of the gang. So if a rival gang sees them, Homer and Marge are dead. Back inside, a clip from the next nominee is shown, a stop-motion animation entitled Willis and Crumble in Better Gnomes and Gardens.
So Willis arrives at Miss Penny Farthing's home, and ensuring that his dog Crumble will have her garden gnomes back to the elite state in no time. Using a fantastical contraption, Crumble goes and gets to work sanding, painting, and rebearding the gnome until it's good as new. So while the dog works, Willis is enticed by Miss Penny Farthing's invite for tea and homemade Marmite sandwiches, especially one made by such a gentle, feminine hands.
This is also great animation, and because we'll get a cameo from Nick Park here in a moment, I wonder if he actually worked on this, because it's a fun mix of like the Wallace and Gromit style and The Simpsons.
And it's cool that like he is in on the joke.
Yeah, exactly. So meanwhile, Crumble tries to enjoy a bone sandwich on his lunch break, but a bird uses his own contraption against him. As he's given the known treatment while Willis gets familiar with Miss Pennyfarthing, in the audience, Lisa gives the creator his best wishes, Nick Park, who I mentioned. Thanks, Lisa. And then they go to shake hands, and some of Nick's fingers come off. But he's not concerned, though, as he is now more clay than man.
And then finally, we get to see Angry Dad. So the short begins with the title character at a fast food soda fountain when he's informed that there's no free refills. And Angry Dad lives up to his name by growing and growing as he rages until he walks through the town, stepping on houses, and punches a hole in a dam and drinks the water, shouting, that's good. And then Hallie reads the winner.
And for Best Animated Short, the Oscar goes to... Wait, one last moment about me. Every night, I dream that my teeth fly out of my mouth. Angry Dad.
Yes! This is it. I finally get to accept an award for my movie. Except it's not just my movie. It was my sister's idea to make this into a short. And so many animators. Every day was somebody's birthday. And you know what? It was my dad's movie, too. I only wish he were here and not at Cerritos Auto Square.
You got your wish, boy. I'm proud of you. I'm sorry I took all the credit.
This whole thing is silly. I mean, isn't the idea of one person taking credit for an entire movie the stupidest thing you ever heard?
You make a lot of good points, Bart. A lot of good points. You're a very thoughtful kid. You remind me of Deborah Carr and Black Narcissus. Anyway, granted, despite what Andre Bazin might say, films are a collaborative art form. But hey, you can't give an Oscar to everyone.
It's funny that when the Angry Dad won, they played the Simpsons theme.
Yeah. I like the multiple Banksy graffiti that's in the auditorium, which is just a ripoff of El Barto. Come on, Banksy. Be more original.
Exactly.
Wait, are we... Or is this assuming that actually Bart is Banksy?
I think it's very possible, yeah.
Look at the star-studded Oscars. We have Lady Gaga, Jack Nicholson, Barbra Streisand, Drew Carey.
Bette Midler.
Paul Rudd? Is he next to Scorsese? I can't tell.
Sure.
No, that's probably like what's his name? Richard Gere? No, not Richard Gere. Who does that look like? Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah, I see, at the clip that I'm looking at, I'm seeing Mel Gibson, Tom Cruise, Sean Penn.
I think Ellen DeGeneres is back there.
Yep, I see her. Rosie O'Donnell, I think, is sitting behind her.
Is that P. Diddy in the back with glasses?
Sure.
Look, it looks like, that's Tom Cruise, yeah. All right, well, that's not Martin Scorsese's voice, Steve, sorry.
No, I think it's Chris Edgerly, who is a voice actor often on The Simpsons, but doesn't get a lot of credit.
But that was Halle Berry.
Yes, and that was really Russell Brand.
There's a lot of like celebrities doing their voice and a lot of celebrities not doing their voice in this episode.
Yeah.
All right.
So Bart thinks for a moment, and then we cut to the Simpsons' backyard where Homer uses a bandsaw to chop up the award into tiny pieces and then hand them out to each of the crew members. Bart asks if they can still order a replacement statuette from the Academy, and Homer assures him that they're only $5 on eBay. So as the credits begin to roll, we cut back to Ricky Gervais, who introduces himself to Ridley Scott.
Oh, hi. Ricky Gervais. Such an honour to meet you, Sir Ridley. I love your movies. Or as I call them, films. Glad I bumped into you, actually, because I'm looking to expand beyond comedy. I know what you're thinking, Sir Ridley. You're thinking, oh my word, he's been making me laugh all these years, but now he's moving me as well. I'm going to have to put him in my new film. What do you think?
I'm a seat filler.
Well, why couldn't you have said that a minute ago? Don't take any of my ideas.
You think Ricky would know what Ridley Scott would look like?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end credit, Steve. There's no more Simpsons. It's over. We finished it.
Wow. We're done.
Well, with this episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so why don't we go take a break, come back, and wrap it up.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Let's wrap up this week's episode of Angry Dad, the movie. We'll talk about some of our favorite jokes and scenes, maybe what worked for this episode and what didn't work, find the most valuable jokester, give it a ranking, and a little review. But before all of that, Steve, we always, without fail, find something from an episode, this episode in particular, that could be wrapped up and given to each host. I'm one of the hosts. You're one of the hosts. Gifts. That's right. There's a lot of gifts to be given in this episode, including part of an Oscar. So here you go. Got it for $5 off at eBay.
Very nice.
I will also get you a plane ticket to Los Angeles, but you can only go to these locations. So you have to go to Watts Tower, Cerritos Auto Square, so on and so forth. You understand.
Sure.
You will be staying at the Hotel Hollywood, Hotel Hollywood Hotel.
Very nice. Classy.
Went and beat up a bunch of Mixar animators and stole their Hawaiian shirt, so you can wear one of those. I beat them all up. It was pretty easy. They're animators.
Yeah.
They're nerds.
Of course.
Steve, I noticed that you have a sandwich over there. Let me just see it and freshen up for you. Burp. There you go.
Thank you.
Steve, is that a Sealy fan in front up above you?
Hi, it sure is.
Hey, I got you a 6-foot rope.
I know what to do with that. Let's get this party started and ended.
And don't ask Chat GPT or Siri or Alexa how to tie a noose. They won't let you know. Trust me.
I will trust you on that one.
Steve, what's that behind you?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yoink. Took money out of your tip jar. Sorry.
I
don't know why we just put tip jars out when we do the podcast. Somehow you get tipped a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. It was a $10 too. Yeah, man.
And finally, here's a chair.
Thank you.
One of those, aero chairs.
Okay. I thought it was Clint Eastwood at the Republican National Convention.
Oh, well, what a timely reference. I mean, when did that happen? In 2012, maybe?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Thank you, Craig. I got some things for you, too. I was going to give you some delicious frozen yogurt, but I don't have the mix in because somebody stole my tips. But I did get you a deck of cards and a bottle of Buzz Cola that you can shove up your ass. I got you Anthony Hopkins' RC car. And for your daughter, I got you a beautiful dress from Lamps Plus. And I got you a Mark Twain prize. No slime.
I really wanted that slime.
Fine, I'll give you a Kids' Choice Award, too.
Woohoo! I already have one of those.
It's not for you to choose kids. It's an award from the award show.
I see. All right. Shia LaBeouf, you're free to go. I probably shouldn't have released him to the public, should have I?
Yeah, especially not in New Orleans.
Yeah, well, that's where something to. All right. Well, Steve, I think we both have fun presents.
Yes.
But was this present time you watching this episode a present?
Was it a gift?
Sure, that's what I meant to say. I lost the word. Give us a review, but give us favorite scenes, maybe most valuable jokester, and for the hell of it, what was your favorite celebrity cameo?
Okay. Yeah, I think for most valuable jokester, it's kind of tough because it's there's a lot of people who have very short bits in this episode. We don't get to see a lot of or hear a lot of JB Smoove. And his friend, played by Hank, is a little problematic, but it was a different time. So I think if I had to give a most valuable jokester, I'm going to give it to Homer, just because I like his voice work that he did remotely at work, and then getting hit in the head with the chair from Lenny. So yeah, I'm going to give it to Homer, the angry dad himself, AD. As for favorite scenes, I think that the parodies were probably my favorite part of this episode. the Persepolis being my favorite, but I think that the Triplets of Belleville one was very funny and very bloody. I really loved the look of the Condiments one, and I really enjoyed the Wallace and Gromit one. I'm a big fan of Wallace and Gromit, and I think they did a really good send-up of that with Nick Park's help, obviously. And I think his cameo might be my favorite. I think Ricky Gervais had the most time to shine, and I think he did a good job being his Ricky Gervais-ness self. But I think I like Nick Parks the most. As for the episode, I kind of alluded to it, but I think the first act has some problems. I wish it was explained why Homer or why Bart didn't get to go out for Froyo with the rest of the family. It just seems like he missed out. And I know he's 10 and he can take care of himself, but it seems like a family trip, and I don't know why he didn't go. And then I think the Mr. Millwood chair bit is so inside baseball that I don't know that most people would get it. And that kind of alludes to the rest of the episode. There's a lot of show busy stuff and a lot of animation stuff that we can get through context clues, but I don't know how people who aren't as dorky as I am, how much they would appreciate it. But I think the second half of the episode is a lot of fun. It feels like it's more for the writers than for the public, and I kind of appreciate that, even though, like I say, it's maybe not for everybody, and it's definitely of its time, and I do like the criticism of award shows in general. I think this is a fun episode, and I like that it's a sequel to an episode that isn't particularly well known. Like Angry Dad I Am Furious Yellow is a good episode, but I don't feel like it's well known enough that somebody would think, oh, that would get a sequel. And I think they did a good job of expanding the story well. So I'm going to say that this is a watch. I think the celebrity cameos were a little ham-fisted, but I think it's kind of the fun of showing the audacity of Hollywood. And yeah, this feels a little award baity, not like Ned or Warren, but just trying to get awards. And so that leads me to my numerical ranking, because The Simpsons have been nominated for 106 awards, including for this episode, but they lost to a Futurama episode, The Late Philip J. Fry. And so I'm going to say that out of the 37 Emmys that The Simpsons have won, I'm going to give this a 26. What are your thoughts, Craig?
Harsh but fair. I'll start and say I think Nick Park was my favorite celebrity cameo because he lent his talents and was to be on the butt of the joke. Although his dog didn't get murdered, which I was hoping was going to happen, like if there was blood, but he didn't allow that. So good job, Nick Park. I'll give another shout out to Halle Berry, just because, why not?
She is famously a good sport. I remember hearing about how she went to both the Razzies and the Oscars in the same year.
Right. She won for... What was the one she won? See, I know what she won for the Razzies. She won for Catwoman, the Razzies, but then it was, what was the movie?
Was it Swordfish?
No, it wasn't Swordfish. It was the one with the Billy Bob Thornton one. They fuck in it. That's all I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Which I believe heard rumors that they actually were sexing up and it wasn't fake. Yeah. Sometimes actors do the acting.
Method. Monsters balls.
Yeah, that monster ball. That's right. And I think you're right with giving it to Dan for MVJ because he gets to do all these voices in this episode. Not just like as Homer doing like Mickey or Snoopy, but does his Walter mouth out, or like when he does the creepy clown imagination in the beginning. I agree. Like the beginning of the episode is the weaker link. And that's weird. We never usually say that. Usually for bad episodes, the beginning is good. And then once the story kicks in, it sucks. Or, we're not fans of it. But there is something about the Bart doing an old school Bart thing of destroying the house. I appreciate that. I also very much appreciate an itchy and scratchy beginning. I was literally thinking about this before I watched the episode. I'm like, it's been a while, I feel like, for new episodes of an itchy and scratchy cartoon. And I kind of miss it. And I get to see it here. So it's nice to get an itchy and scratchy return to form. And I like the connection with that they did with the I Am Furious Yellow, sequelizing it. So like it really is like a fun episode to watch back to back. Two different kind of stories, but the fact that they relate to each other, I mean, obviously because of the sequel and like there is continuity with that. I appreciate that. And scenes wise, I think you're right. I think it's the animated shorts, and I almost wish like this whole episode was just animated shorts in different styles and just like parodying all of these popular animated, like they're parodying, but they're also like showing homage to like the Trippets of Belleville and Wallace and Gromit and so forth. So it's nice seeing that. But that being said, like, this episode has this kind of like weird, like not disjointed, but it doesn't feel like a traditional Simpsons episode. It feels more like a Family Guy structure because of the fantastical of like the Oscars and this wouldn't happen in real, it's not like Springfield grounded. That's another thing. We don't really see your Springfield characters. It's just the Simpsons. Like I didn't get to see, I mean, you don't even get to see Lenny and Carl. You see them at the Taco Tuesday, but Luigi, I think, is the only one that makes an appearance, which is a weird one because it's the Hollywood Foreign Press and they just try to figure out a foreign character to use. And so it's Luigi.
Gotta be Luigi. Yeah.
Because at this time they don't want to use a poo because we're a little bit worried about that.
Yeah.
So this episode, I think, benefits from watching Angry Dad or I Am Furious Yellow, but you still don't need to watch I Am Furious Yellow to get the gist of this episode. So they got that right. But if you were to show this episode to like an old school Simpsons fan, they would fucking hate this episode.
100%. Yeah.
This is for the fans, but this is also, like you said, an inside to, this is the writer's room. Like they're happy about this. Like this is all the things that they think of and awards. And I know like the joke of like award shows has been a thing that we've talked about over and over. I'm not saying we, but the collective we, like as a community, we know the jokes of the award show presenters' jokes are horrible and they're trash, and they do it here. And we've seen them before in The Simpsons. I mean, they're retreading a lot of jokes. Like the one I always think about, which is funny, is next presenter is Brooke Shields and Krusty the Clown. Well, you may be like from the Blue Lagoon. I'm the blue-haired buffoon. What? That joke doesn't even make sense. I don't have blue hair. I know that's not the joke verbatim, but I think of things like that are funny. And then I don't know if I'm going to like think of this episode and like remember the funny of it. Well, I did chuckle a bit, and I think that had to do with the animated shorts, and the one with the tank is the funniest thing to me. But that being said, I feel like this episode is just, it is an homage to the animation. So I'll give it that, but I don't know if this is like a repeat viewing unless I'm watching the I Am Furious Yellow. I mean, I'm curious whichever the real title is.
Furious, yeah.
We talk about cancel culture a lot, and Disney canceled the Stark Raving Dad because of Michael Jackson and his allegations, and so they don't want that one to be shown ever again because of Michael Jackson. Yet we have one with Russell Brand still here. Who, is a creep who exposes himself and probably is a pedophile. Wasn't there something else, someone else problematic in this episode besides like Ricky Gervais?
Halle Berry, Nick Park, JB Smoove.
JB Smoove is still fine. He's fine. But, it's... So then there's so many other episodes of horrible people. Like there's an episode that Neil Gaiman wrote, right? Or he's not wrote, but was just on, and like he's been accused of allegations. And like, so if you're going to get rid of I know by tangent, like if you get rid of the Michael Jackson one, then get rid of all the ones that have problematic people.
Yeah. I mean, we should definitely get rid of the Elon Musk episode.
I mean, I'm too nervous to ever watch that episode. I'm excited to watch the Lady Gaga episode. That episode, though, Elon Musk, it came on a while back, and I'm like, I couldn't get through. I'm like, this is horrible. And I hate Lisa for admiring him in that episode.
Yeah.
Anyways, so my review of this episode is, if you like Inside Hollywood jokes, if you like LA jokes, if you're a completionist, then of course watch this episode. If you're a fair weather Simpsons fan, this is an absolute skip. I think sometimes when you get the bloatedness of celebrity cameos and even just like parodies, it is such an inside baseball Hollywood kissing its ass episode. Well, it's also trying to make fun of Hollywood.
Yeah, and especially a specific pocket of Hollywood, because it's not just celebrity culture, it's also animation culture, which is even more niche.
I'll give it this, though. I think that when we see finally all the animated shorts, that Angry Dad short is the worst, and I think it's meant to be because it's not the funniest one at all. The other ones are all creative. The animation is way better. And I think that could be a response to the writers and telling Hollywood, like, you always pick the wrong one, maybe. Or like Angry, we didn't talk about this, but Angry Dad, the cartoon, should not have won. It wasn't that good.
No.
And I think that's the point. It was just a stupid joke. So I think that could be also a response of them, like, you always pick the wrong one. Like, the awards never go to the right film. You know, it's the old thing of like, Saving Private Ryan should have won over Shakespeare in Love, because who goes back and watches Shakespeare in Love, right? Everyone watches Saving Private Ryan all the time. What was that movie? That black and white movie that came out like around this time, The Artist, that won Best Picture. I never saw it. I don't know anyone who's seen it, but that movie won. Yeah, exactly.
I think there's so many examples of that, like the year that Crash won. I think that there were so many other movies.
Of course, let's not forget 1994, Forrest Gump wins over every other film. like Pulp Fiction should have won, or Shawshank should have won, but no, Forrest Gump, which is a movie that I feel does not hold up.
Not at all. It's a horrible movie, and I hate it. Good soundtrack, though.
Yeah, but the soundtrack is like now like the cliche songs when you watch like a movie set in like the 60s or 70s. It's that soundtrack.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm done with my soapbox. So I'm going to give this a ranking. And Russell Brand and Katy Perry were only married for 14 months. So out of those 14 months, I'm going to give this... I'm sorry. It's a May.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Tough but fair.
All right, Steve. Now that we got this out of the way, as like I'm saying that like finally it's over, we got to find out what we're watching next week. And it's still summer, and we're going back to spring cleaning. I know. Summer's probably almost over. I was just at the grocery store today. The back to the school stuff's already up. We're getting ready for fall pumpkin season. So I guess we're doing...
Like the Doors once said, summer's almost gone.
But we are almost wrapped up, I believe, with our spring cleaning, because I think we said we're only doing the first 10, and I believe we're redoing our 8th or 9th episode.
Yeah.
And that, of course, is from season 14, episode 17, 3 Gays of the Condo. Homer and Marge have a fight when Homer realizes Marge only married him because she was pregnant with Bart. So Homer chooses to leave the house and struggles to find the best roommate. It was written by Mark Warburton, directed by Mark Kirkland. Original air date April 13, 2003. I remember this episode. I think we enjoyed this episode. We have a nice Weird Al Yankovic cameo.
And you mentioned Kids in the Hall earlier in the episode. We get a nice Kids in the Hall alum as well.
We also get the lead singer and rhythm guitarist for Spinal Tap in this episode. Annette O'Toole's husband, of course.
Of course, yes.
And, Better Call Saul's Jimmy's brother. I don't remember his name. And Harry Shearer's acquaintance. I don't know if they're friends, but they might hang out too.
I don't think Harry has a lot of friends in general.
I'm, of course, talking about the great one and only Michael McKean. And now, was it Conan O'Brien, that famous quote about Spinal Tap, or working with Harry Shearer and Michael McKean and Chris Guest doing the voice?
Yeah.
What was the quote?
Something about how, it's so funny.
It's essentially saying that Michael McKean's like the only nice, normal person out of those three.
Yeah, it was something to the effect of we had a cast member from The Simpsons, a really nice guy, and Christopher Guest was there too.
That's the best. I feel like Michael McKean is one of those guys that just would be the nicest people out there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's from all I can tell, he seems like he's just a sweetheart.
He's one of the good ones, unlike the bad ones. All right, Steve.
Exactly.
That's going to do it for this week. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I'm happy to be one of the hosts of this podcast. And if you're happy with us, let us know by emailing us at 13simpsons@gmail.com, or let us know on social medias like YouTube or Instagram at 138simpsons.
And hey, if you're so kind, go to your favorite podcasting app, please 5 stars are the equivalent, but you don't need to write an actual review. Just tell us the animated short that you want to make.
And don't forget to sign up for our Patreon. It's $5 a month, and each week you get a bonus episode. Not of this show, but we will do a bonus episode of a movie review, another TV show review, or us just sitting around talking about being annoyed grunt boys. And of course, there is a Simpsons podcast that we do on our Patreon. Once a month, we talk about a Golden Age episode. So sign up now. It's a lot of fun, and we enjoy doing all this.
That's right. Great stuff. And hey, if you want to look cool, like we're cool, go to tpublic.com/user/annoyedgruntboy and get yourself some good old-fashioned 138 Simpsons swag. We've got a new design up there, the revolutionary J. Guevara t-shirt. It's awesome. Check it out.
That's going to do it for this week. I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And remember, everyone makes mistakes. Yours is just public and expensive.
I'm more clay than man now.
Sound mixers may not be glamorous, but they make us sound so good.
Without them, we'd be up a creek without a decibel.
Turn it off, for God's sake, turn it off!